Good evening. Welcome to LizianEvents Live. I'm flying solo today and won't be a long live, but we've got three things that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about last weekend's Newark Well Being Show, a little bit of a tribute to the wonderful Stephen Blake, and an initial thoughts and look at next weekend's Newcastle Well Being Show. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is last weekend's show. The Newark Well Being Show was an absolutely spectacular event. It really beat all expectations for the first show of the year. We enjoyed a phenomenal turnout with community members. Well over 72 or 73 people stood that weekend, and that meant nearly 100 people came as community members. So the faith and dedication to the Wellbeing brand was truly demonstrated last weekend. We really enjoyed a fantastic whole weekend of visitors. Good evening, Bridget. Bridget was at the event. She was absolutely fantastic as usual. Her talks were very, very well attended, as were most of the talks over the weekend. We truly had a fantastic talk schedule, and the stage area looked after by Don and Carol Harradine was also very, very, very well attended indeed. I'm here this evening to thank every single one of the Newark Wellbeing community members who came and excelled, completely excelled last weekend. If ever there was a weekend to demonstrate the power and the potential of the wellbeing shows, last weekend proved it, and it can only bode well for the rest of the year. I really think it was superb, and all of you were brilliant. Leva Davis confirms it. It was such a great event, and Lisa made a phenomenal contribution to it with the girls and the belly dancing and the dancing. Nobody could fault the work that Lisa did. Lisa's dedication to the Wellbeing brand is well known amongst everybody, and she's truly put on a spectacular 2 days of dancing, and I thank you so much for it. The whole weekend just worked so well. Right from the beginning, we had queues at the door, and Liz and Rob made the right choice because it was so cold outside. She let people in early and people went to the cafeteria, so we didn't have that massive photograph of a lot of people standing, and rightfully so. It really worked well. Liz says, evening all, what a great weekend at Newark last weekend. Looking forward to welcoming visitors to the next show at the Newcastle Racecourse, which we'll come to in a moment. Now, Liz will help me out here. There was a winner of the gift box, a local person, and I didn't do my prep work well enough, but I'm sure Liz will sort that out, and we'll announce that as well in a few moments. So Lisa, thanks to our wonderful teacher, Susan Kendley. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, it's becoming so popular. It's a real moment that people enjoy. And a lot of people talk about it as well afterwards. Oh, I love the belly dancing. I always say, get involved. And people always smile. When people were leaving the event, we consistently had visitors talk about what they'd seen and how much they enjoyed the show. And that is not an exaggeration by any, there is no stretch of the imagination there. Time after time after time, visitors really truly enjoyed the show. Good evening, Stuart. Stuart was working at the weekend, so he couldn't come along and make his wonderful contribution. He has a lot of friends who stand at the Wellbeing shows. He's very, very well respected. And of course, many know Stuart for his work with Nottingham Reiki, a well-established Reiki school that probably is, well, not probably, factually is probably the best in the Nottingham area. Really well known, and lots of Reiki practitioners have become Reiki masters, etc., from Stuart's incredible work. So we had this great weekend. It really establishes us for this coming year. With over 70 people standing at the Newark event, it was the most people we've had at that event, and we've already replicated or almost everybody to come along to the next Newark event, and there'll be additions to it. And I think that yes, sorry, it shows how the man, Stuart, truly it was, there's no doubt about it, brilliant. So I would say to you, have a quick look at www.LizianEvents.org. Let's see if I've got a banner there. Let me have a look. I think it should probably somewhere. No, I need to do one of those. Sorry. So there we go. We've got, yes, and of course, Lisa, so future shows, I've delighted to donate a collection of my books for the event prize. Wow. And now you're talking something special, because Lisa's books are absolutely superb, really well established, incredibly well thought of, absolutely brilliant books. And Get a Life, I think, probably established as one of the finest books in the self-help genre. And I really want to go a bit further than that. There's this integrated book. It's self-help, there's ideas about spiritual values. It's an absolute classic, and it was written so well that this book, it stands the test of time. If you pick that book up all the years ago when it was first read, and you read it today, everything in that book's relevant. It's a really fantastic book. If you get a chance to read it, I should go for it. Let's see what we've got here. So Stuart Slater from Waddington won the gift box in the prize draw, and they, along with everybody else who entered the draw, are in the draw for the end of the year for the Amethyst Geode. Amethyst Geode's £900, I think. Liz might come on and confirm that. I hope so. And that prize is fantastic. So there are individual gift boxes to be given at every single show. The value in the gift box is about £150 retail, so it's absolutely brilliant. You're very welcome, Lisa. I genuinely meant what I said about that. Your books are superb and so beautifully written. They're absolutely brilliant. If you weren't such a successful businesswoman, I think you'd be a world famous writer. Yes. So the gift box has about £150 worth of goodies in it, and to enter the draw at the events, there is a QR code. You look at it with your camera, photograph it, and follow the instructions, and it just asks you for your email. In return for entering the prize draws, you go onto the mailing list, and that's all it is. And the mailing list is solely down to promoting the shows. We did have a lot of people who didn't want to enter the draw because, and Liz will confirm this, and because they thought they had to pay money to go into it. And no matter how you try and persuade people, some people think there's a catch to it. There isn't. So every single time that a draw is entered, it goes into the list. Nothing is lost. And at the end of the year in Lincoln, Liz will select a name using an auto selector that we've got, and they will be the lucky winner of the geode. So Liz Davis, thank you for the offer of some of your books to add to the gift boxes. Kirsty Wood from Ethically Gifted has kindly said she'll donate a bar of her famous fair trade chocolate. That's a bit nice. How about this? The value of all 4 books is about £96. I'll tell you what, by the time we've finished with people donating, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. you. The people will be able to come to the show and with one foul swoop take away a few £100 worth of goodies. Really brilliant. Well, in fact, it'll be £250, £260 worth of goodies with just the 3 gifts. Thank you very much. So let's go a little bit further. I'll repeat, amazingly, sir. Thank you. Let's move on. I don't want this to be a long event, a long live. I've personally had a very, very, very long day today, and I really need a little bit of a break. Pete, great to see you, Pete. Pete's a stalwart supporter of the Wellbeing shows. Wonderful guy. Congrats to the great show, Liz and Timothy. Sorry I couldn't make it. Don't worry, we totally understand, and I'm sure at some stage we will be seeing you, Peter, in the new year, later on in this year, new year. So I'd like now to just cover a little bit of a sad moment, and of course we'll be talking about the wonderful and now sadly missed Stephen Blake. What I'd like to do is I'd like to just initially read the post that Trudy put out on Facebook last week, because it explains so much about the loss of this phenomenal man who supported and really was enthusiastic about our work right from the very beginning, Stephen Blake. And I must say that I was truly shocked, as were many other people, when we heard this sad news last week. So these were Trudy's words. We know this may be difficult to hear, and it will come as a shock to many of you. Over the past few months, we've been navigating something we never anticipated. It is with a heavy heart that we share that Stephen passed away following a short and rapidly progressing cancer diagnosis. This has come as a profound shock to all of us, and we are still finding our footing. We explored every avenue we could, medical care and a wide range of other supportive approaches, and throughout it all, we held hope for recovery. Towards the end, although Stephen was uncomfortable, he was not in pain. His passing was peaceful, surrounded by loved ones. Stephen dedicated his life to supporting others. He will forever be remembered for his kindness, integrity, warmth, and unwavering commitment to his passion, Old Pain to Go. He pioneered an approach that has helped people across the world at moments when they needed it most. The legacy he has created will continue to ripple outwards in ways we may never fully see. Before his passing, Stephen was very clear that he did not want Old Pain to Go to end with him. We are wholeheartedly committed to carrying his vision, mission, and dream forward. We have created a tribute site for Stephen and his memory, and you will be able to place a tribute for Stephen at https stephenblake-1953-2026.muchlove.com. I have done so, and if you go to that site and leave a tribute to Stephen, you will absolutely see the monumental amount of comments and kindness that we've seen. And we'll just see this, that Lisa says, what a wonderful man. He will be so sadly missed. Liz put up the link as well. So there we go. There is a link on the LizianEvents page and Old Pain to Go for people to leave a message for this dedicated Remembrance Day. Yeah, and I will be placing a a tribute to Stephen on LizianEvents news this coming week. Stuart, it's a shame, he's a really nice guy. He really was, and our thoughts are with Trudy and family. And so I'll just come back to me in a moment, but just please, 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 if you want to leave a memory and a thought on much loved, then please do so. It'll be a wonderful, wonderful man. So come back to me, and here I am. I'll just give a few of my own thoughts, and I'll free flow on this. I met Stephen over 12 or 13 years ago. He was a man who impressed me right from the beginning. I thought he was a tremendously intelligent man, and I really got his idea and concept of Old Pain to Go. And using many techniques that he'd learned, he developed something that was very special indeed. And Old Pain to Go has taken Stephen and Trudy around the world with their training. And there are many practitioners around the world who find great success in what he did and what will continue from his legacy. The last time that I spoke to Stephen was actually at the last Newark show, and not the one that's just gone off, obviously, in 2025. And I sat in his talk, and it was absolutely spectacular. It was really captivating, and all the people in the room were very fascinated with his work. And he said something to me that I was really surprised at, because this really is a demonstration of just how candid and honest and man of such integrity came out. He said, you know, Ian, I've spent years upon years developing and promoting Old Pain to Go, and I really sometimes become exasperated with the resistance of the medical professionals who seem to dismiss it, even though we can evidence for quite an amount of people it works and it has a really fantastic benefit to their lives. And I felt it was such a shame that he was almost limited by the thoughts of people with closed minds. If you think about Dave Ellman, if we read Dave Ellman's book about using the mind to overcome pain, we know for certain that the mind can overcome pain. And we also know that Stephen's work, Old Pain to Go, was a absolutely wonderful, wonderful process. And you know, he was so dedicated, he was so professional. Anybody who ever met Stephen would know that he was always smart, he was immaculate in his presentation, his way that he spoke was clear and precise, his intellect was just shone from in every fibre of his body. And it was such a sad thing to lose him as a friend, and it was so sad for his passing. And I'm so pleased that he wasn't in pain but uncomfortable throughout of his ordeal. And our thoughts are with Trudy and his family, and I have no doubt, because of all the people who spoke about him at last weekend's show, and so many memories and thoughts, and there was not one person, not a one, who didn't have a good word to say about this fantastic, fantastic man. And Stuart says, we had a few chats with Stephen over the years, and our heart go out to the family, Nottingham Reiki, and so good. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful man. So let's go away from Stephen and a quick chat. Now, next week, on Monday and on Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about the Newcastle Well Being Show. The Newcastle Well Being Show, we're only running one this year, and the reason is that the dates, we find it difficult to get dates because of the racing Newcastle race course. I'm just going to put this up because it's so kind. Stephen was always smiling, so pleasant and helpful. I always regretted to be tied down to my own stand at the shows, so it prevented me attending his eye-opening talks. Such a great and gentle man. We shall miss him a lot. All my thoughts to Trudy and family. Thank you so much, Bridget. So the Newcastle show. Let's just have a quick look at the people present standing. I need to say that when I made this particular reel, I missed off a couple of people who are standing, which takes it now to 43 people standing, pocket full of stones, which is the Aura camera, and Mel Foot, who's now have a sniff with the olfaction products, are also on this, but we'll have a quick look and see where we are. The Newcastle Well Being Show list: AP Inspiration, Bewitching Books, Bridget Ricks, Crystal Carols, Crystal Cave Online, Dr. Nair, Earth Soul, Elemental Balance, Essences of Nature, Friggy's Witch Emporium, Hands Off for Healing, Harmony of Soul, Matrix Drops, KMA Massage, Healing Truths, Hell Energy, Hello Mind, Holistic Hut, Lindsay, Magic Hands, Miller's Drumming, Mother's Cupboard, Northern Soul Therapies, Pocket Full of Stones, Pyramid Lady, Reflexology, Richard Sound Therapy, Rick Paul, Rooted with Radiance, Saluna, Spirit Rocks, Spiritual Readings with Donna, Starlight Medium, Stephanie J. King, Tony Tobika, TN Personal Training, Tropic Skincare, Urban Monk, Valastorina, Wild and Present, Woodland Trust, Zendalu, and that completes the list of 40 exhibitors. So there we are, next weekend, 28th of February, 1st of March, we'll be having a fantastic event up in Newcastle. Sold quite a few tickets online, so it's looking really good indeed. It's a tremendous show, really fantastic. So next week, Monday and Wednesday, I'll be talking about the show, and I'll have 2 guests on board. I'll let you know later who we've got as guests on board. I don't want to make a name now and get it wrong for next week. I've got 4 people on the list. I'm just waiting for confirmation. So we'll be talking quite a bit about the show. Again, superb event. There are 2 talk areas, and in the 2 talk areas, that'll give us around about 25 talks over the whole weekend. Miller will be there with his drumming, so it's going to be quite noisy for the first 20 minutes or so, but Miller's drumming has become exceptionally popular, and we'll be privileged to have him travel all the way up to work with his drums. He was tremendously popular, and I really mean tremendously popular over the last weekend. And here we are, look, here's Kirsty Wood wishing everyone a fabulous show at Newcastle. Kirsty has made the correct decision not to travel all of the way up to Newcastle. She's also got so many other things to do. She's made some very interesting and very careful choices with her show attendance for the coming year, and I think she's been very wise to consolidate and only work in quite a close proximity to where she works. And she's also busy with her other work as well, which is very good indeed. And so she's made a good thing. And Pete says, LizianEvents, thanks Liz, heavy chest infection start from Happy for me, Nildus Brendan. We'll try again ASAP. I'll see you when we do see you. So quickly now, we don't really want me rabbiting on and going round in circles. Next week, Monday and Wednesday, we'll have a full appraisal of the Newcastle show. We'll be talking about the talks. we'll be talking about presentations, we'll be talking about all of the people who are standing. So there's lots of information to come, and I think that that will wind up this event. So thoughts to Trudy and the family with Stephen. Wonderful, wonderful man. Cannot thank everybody who were involved in last weekend's Newark Well Being Show enough. You were absolutely fantastic. Says I loved Newcastle when I attended, and we loved you being there. We can't always have the things we want in life. So that's our wind up at that. Short and sweet, and I will see you all on Monday at 7 o'clock. More, I'll post it out up on Facebook, cover it across the board. Thank you to you all. Thank you to everybody again from the bottom of Liz and I hearts for making the first wellbeing show of the year, the Newark Well Being Show, the amazing, amazing event that it was. And thank you to everybody who travelled from all over the country, literally, to come to that event. Fantastic turnout. Very, very great show. And look, I'm working up in Gateshead a week later. Well, I've tried my best to come along, and you would have done. I know you would have done. So thank you all. Au revoir, my lovely friend. Have a lovely week, all of you, and I'll speak to you on Monday. And that will be the end of the show. Thanks for coming along. See you later. And